Hi beautiful shining stars, and now we are on principle 6. I've been doing so many videos and so much content creation because I'm working on like 3 different classes all at the same time, and my video stream is like, you only got 33 minutes, girl, so you better make it sassy. So that means I gotta do this video and then upload everything and then clear everything, so I gotta get to work. But it's okay because tomorrow I'm enjoying my day. Welcome to principle 6. So this principle is about ensuring your future income, setting a nest for your retirement. And this principle has a lot to do with the house principle, because I shared about it, something that my dad did. We as humans do not think about our futures. Even me, that I'm almost fucking 50, I now started thinking, because my goal is to retire at 55. At 55, I'm done. That's my goal, is to get in a place where I no longer have to do a lot of things that I'm doing and working as hard as I'm working, because everything is running as such a well-oiled machine that I could fully retire. How many years is that? That's a 7-year plan. 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. That's a 7-year plan. Nobody does that shit. Everybody's crying about yesterday. Everybody's crying about how they didn't manifest this today. How I want this today, Daisy, and it hasn't come. It hasn't come. Oh my God, it hasn't come. It takes time, people. So you have to set your eggs in different baskets. And let's get to that. So I wrote, something you would never think about is tomorrow. All everyone ever does is complain about today, what they do not have, why they don't have it, why it's this person's fault, and so on. My dad said it, if I could go back, I would make sure I put some of that money I lost away for this time in my life. He says he took half of his home, and even though, and I wrote, now my dad is very abundant and makes his home as a passive income. My dad has always been very abundant. The thing with him is that unfortunately he's a drug addict and an alcoholic. And having that type of money-sucking dialogue, it's very hard to create wealth and retain it or invest it or expand it. So unfortunately, instead of like thinking, if I buy this home for my daughter, you know, when I get older, I could live with her. They don't think about that, because people like my dad and my husband's mom do not think about those things. So, but he does have a retirement plan, because he took his home, principle 5, and he created 2 rental incomes, which are passive, because every month these people on the 1st pay him, and sometimes even before, they pay him the money, and then he uses that money to pay all of his bills. So anything like, and he gets a retirement check because he's worked for such a long time in his life, and he's lucky enough to still have Medicare and retirement and all that good stuff. So with that being said, anything else, the other income, he uses one in his check, pays off everything, and then the other income, like food, clothing, you know, because my parents, they live a retired life. I think it's super funny that my mom will complain and complain and complain, but she lives a nice retired life. Yeah, she's not a fucking millionaire, but she goes every day and has her café con leche and her toast and her crackers and her, you know, and she could go to Ross and she goes to Michael's, and, you know, she does a lot of things that instead of being grateful for, unfortunately, she just complains and complains about what she doesn't have. Sound familiar? A lot of my clients do that. Instead of being grateful for what they have, they're always complaining about what they do not have. Now, retirement plan is not just saving money. Retirement plan is also buying insurance. God forbid your spouse, you pass away, you have insurance. Nobody ever thinks that when they pass away, what happens? Who is going to bury you? We had 2 cousins that passed away. They were young. One was in his early 40s and the other one was in his early 50s. And they were both very unexpected deaths. Family, of course, as family, came all together and was able to help my aunt, because it was my aunt who lost both of her children. Very sad story. And thank God for family. If me and my husband were to die tomorrow, we have insurance. The insurance will right away, it's under my daughter's name, and all the money goes, if I'm alive, to me. If we both go, to my daughter, and she takes care of all the stuff. And if not, it goes to my boys. And so that is all taken care of. All the list is there. It's all signed. It's all notarized. It's all docked. All that is taken care of. I just bought an insurance because I'm not a spring chicken. I'm definitely not the healthiest person in the world. God forbid I end up in a hospital. I can't do this work, which pays a lot of my bills, right? So instead of, oh my God, I got to tap into my investments, I got to tap into my savings, I have an insurance that if I go into the hospital and I can't take care of myself because I'm there for a week per se, they pay me $1,800 a day to use however I need or feel fit to use. The check goes to me, not to the hospital, not to the insurance, not to me, for me to use however I need to use it. That insurance only costs me $20 a month. So there's like so many ways to plan for your retirement. People have 401ks. You know, now I think there's a way for you to, there's so many apps. Like, we live in such a beautiful technological era that we are able to use certain apps to put money away. I knew somebody that was doing acorns. I don't trust stocks because I personally had such a bad outcome with E-Trade that I don't trust any apps anymore. Like, they just killed. And I always say it, like, make sure you read everything, make sure you read all the fine print. So instead, I'd rather invest in, now a lot of people are investing in like, I think it's called like rental arbitrage, which is like you are investing like an angel investor in other people, other realtors, and they're taking that money and buying homes, buying places, buying rentals, and every month you get money from that. I'm not really getting a lot of money yet because I'm still early in the investment, but every month money goes into that pot, and that pot grows and grows and grows, and that's a passive income that I will have for the rest of my life that I could leave to my children, my grandchildren, etc. The point is, I want to create, and then that's why I want to do in the whole home thing, is because I could do the home, and then I could do Airbnbs, and like I say, if that home becomes too much, because it is a large home, my daughter could sell it. My daughter could, you know, Airbnb it, rent it out. You know, there's so many different things that when you become a homeowner, you have the ability to do. So that is really, really important, and why principle 5 and 6 are so like, wow. Now, the principles that I created is for you to set up your retirement plan and do the research. This insurance is going to cost me this. Download the facts. Tell them to send you the paperwork, the videos, whatever it is. I don't care if you're 20 or you're 50 or you're whatever. This is here because the wealthy people have all this planned. That's why they're wealthy, because they don't leave anything to chance. And the poor people do. The poor people spend all the money today. Oh, because I want to feel abundant. So in order for me to feel abundant, I got to spend all my money today. I hear that all the time, and I'm just like, oh boy. Just have a cup of coffee and make believe that you're sitting at a cafe and you'll feel abundant. You have to live between what you have, so you could take some of that money and invest it, and then you could sit in a rich house, and then you could sit by the pool slurping margaritas, because then you have multiple streams of income bringing you multi-million dollars, billions, whatever it is that you want to manifest. You have to get to there, and it all starts with a plan. It all starts where you are at today. It all starts by putting that 10 to 20% away and paying yourself first, and acting like that money does not exist. Even if you're late on your mortgage, even if you're late on your rent or your utilities, you act like that money doesn't exist. And then that money becomes a magnet to bring in more money. Today is all about planning. Yesterday is all about planning. Everything that you're doing in this class It's setting the goals. It's setting the plans. And then not only that, I gave you the Kabbalistic divine energy to manifest great wealth. And I'm also doing a class that is all about that energy. We're also sharing all these videos. These 7 videos are going to be in that class as well, because these are the 7 principles and they're so powerful. But that class is going to be even more magic. It's going to be more magic oriented, more manifesting oriented. This is manifesting because we're doing scripting. We're doing all of that. That's going to be more occult energy. What magic do I use? What, So they're all different, which is the cool thing. Now, so when you make this plan, think about who you have in mind. Like who are you gonna leave, your stuff to? So me and my daughter had like a very uncomfortable conversation, because my daughter thinks that, like, she tells me if I die, she'll die too. So she's like, you better be one of those old ladies that lives to be 100 and I'll be in my, late 50s and 60s and taking care of you, because I can't handle it, Mom. Because she's so afraid of death and all that stuff. And I totally understand. I don't plan on dying. It's not part of the plan, but it is part of reality. It's our life passages. We're all gonna go. So I told her, I said, if you decide on a funeral, make it a party. I don't want people sobbing and crying, because I'm a very happy, hunky-dory, flamboyant type person. Make it a theme. I want everybody dressed in pink. I want lots of beautiful flowers. And I want to be a tree. And we even chose what type of tree I want to be. That is one of the options nowadays that you have for when you pass away. Because passing away is a rite of passage. We're all going to go through it. And, I think it's crazy because, like, my parents, they don't have that plan. So it's going to be up to us to, when they go, to do everything, So I also have to have a plan for their stuff. So it's crazy how it is for, some of us. So we have certain plans, certain ideas, certain responsibilities, and we shouldn't, because my parents should have already taken care of that. But I know they haven't, because every time I bring it up, my mom goes into a hissy fit about dying. So anywho, make your retirement plan. Plan 401k, health insurance, life insurance, Think about, especially like I would sit down and be like, okay, I already spent. Think about, because it's going to be harder if you're one of those people that are spending like way beyond your means. You need to stop that shit. Like, that is not part of the wealth plan. And I think it's so funny how people are like, oh, because if I don't spend money, I don't feel wealthy. Well, you're not wealthy because you're spending way too much money. You need to first bunker everything down. And I'm not telling you because I'm very like, tomorrow I'm going out. And I'm escalating because I want to make my first multi-million. Like, it might not be in 2023, it might be 24 and 25, but I've been working on it since 2021. That's been my main, like, that is where I see myself going. So that is why, if, because now, hello, we're looking at the world, shit's going crazy. They're talking about recessions. So this is a time, the wealthy, they're like, yes, recession. Yoo-hoo! Because what are they doing? Houses go down. Businesses go bankrupt. So that's when the wealthy people swoop in and buy all that stuff. And then they flip it. And then they become even wealthier. And the poor people, no, they're not thinking about that, because, they want to feel wealthy. So they're in, Ross and Target buying all the crap and filling up their houses. So I'm going to give it to you real. The plan, the structure in the beginning feels strained. In the beginning, it doesn't feel wealthy. But I feel wealthy knowing that I have a box full of money. I feel wealthy knowing that I have coins, that I have gold, that I have silver, that I have collectibles, that I have things that tomorrow, God forbid, something really bad happens and I have to go into stuff, I have enough to tap into, right? My kids have enough to tap into. They can start businesses with all the shit that I have. But the point is, I can retire with all that stuff that I have. So I have a plan. What is your plan? What is your retirement strategy? And that's what you start doing. And then you start working towards that. Then you could take another 10%, saying, I'm going to pay me first. And then you know what? I'm going to put these 10% towards my retirement. Because today I'm 30 and I think I'll retire when I'm 60. But what if you don't need to retire when you're 60? What if today you're 30 and by the time you're 35, you're a multimillionaire? All right. So where were we? So we were talking about, so what if you become a millionaire in your 30s? So you just have to set the pace, make the plan. This is what you're doing. You're setting the plan and you don't know where it's going to be. That's just like, I create all this content and sometimes I get one view, but that one view might bring me a $10,000 client. I just never know what's going to happen. That one view might create a collaboration with another YouTuber, or an article might, surface. Like, you just don't know where these plans, these action steps are going to lead you. But the point is to do everything, to create these plans. And I recommend that you take these 7 principles and you put them in a binder, that you create like your wealth building binder. Make that your wealth building portfolio, something that you're going to come back as the wealthy people. They organize, they prioritize, they invest, and you're setting this because now you have the budget. You're budgeting all your expenses. You're seeing what's coming in and you're seeing what's going out. There's no, where did the money go? Why did I spend that? Because you're looking at it, you're taking the cash out and you're putting it away. So now you know that because you have the cash on you. That's why I always recommend, especially in the beginning, because once you have millions of dollars, you're not going to be able to keep it unless you have a safe in your home, right? Unless you have that security system within your place. But until you get to that, you start where you are. And I think that's where a lot of people get stuck. And we talk more about this in Principle 7, and I will see you there.